It all began innocently enough when they arranged a bachelorette party for Emily's closest friend, Natalie, who was getting married in Miami. As Emily packed her suitcase, she flashed a disarming smile and told me, "It's just 2 days. We'll have some cocktails, hit the beach, and celebrate Natalie's final days as a single woman." When Emily came back, something felt off. At first, I couldn't quite place it. She was quieter than usual, distracted, like her mind was somewhere else. That evening, while we were lounging on the couch, her phone buzzed. She grabbed it quickly, chuckling nervously, and placed it face down on the table. "Who was that?" I asked. She responded too quickly, still riding the high from her trip. "Just a friend," she said. I probably should have pressed further, but I let it go, convincing myself I was imagining things. A week passed, and Emily continued acting strangely, jittery, distant. She began staying up later than usual, scrolling through her phone well into the night. She also started avoiding any sort of intimacy, brushing me off with excuses about being stressed or tired. One night, I decided to confront her. "Emily," I said, standing in the doorway of our bedroom, arms crossed. She looked up from her phone, startled. "What's going on?" I asked. "I don't know what you mean," she replied, sitting on the bed. For a moment, her face went pale before she forced a smile. "Ryan, you're being paranoid." I wanted to believe her, so I let it slide for a while. 2 days later, Emily went out for a walk. As I was preparing to leave the house, I realized I couldn't find my car keys. I checked the drawer by the door, then the kitchen counter, but they weren't anywhere. Then it hit me. Emily had borrowed my car earlier that morning because hers had broken down. I went to her purse, which was hanging by the coat rack. When I opened it, I found my keys, along with a receipt from a tattoo studio in Miami. The date on the receipt matched the weekend of her bachelorette party. When Emily got home, I showed her the receipt. Her eyes widened in surprise. "Oh, Natalie dared me to get a small tattoo while we were there," she stammered. "Where's the tattoo?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. After a brief pause, Emily lowered the waistband of her jeans, revealing a tiny heart near her hip. At first, it seemed innocent, but as I took a closer look, I noticed a small R delicately etched in the center. My stomach dropped. "What is this?" I asked, my voice growing sharper. Her cheeks flushed, and she fidgeted uncomfortably. "I thought it would be a cute gesture for you," she said, offering a nervous smile. "But it's not a big deal." My chest tightened. I nodded slowly, though every instinct in me screamed for more answers. The next day, I called Natalie, trying to keep my tone light. "Hey, quick question. What's the deal with Emily getting a tattoo in Miami?" There was a pause on the other end. "Well," Natalie's voice wavered. "It was a crazy night. She was pretty drunk, but Emily doesn't drink. She wasn't the type to get a tattoo on a whim. So that night, I did something I never thought I would. I snooped." While Emily was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the coffee table. A notification popped up, and the name Megan caught my attention. But it was the message itself that made my blood run cold. "I want to meet you again." A knot twisted in my stomach. Something wasn't right. I noticed she had changed her phone's passcode after returning from Miami, but I knew her well enough to guess it after just 2 tries. I unlocked her phone and found the conversation thread with Megan. It was empty, except for that one chilling message. Suspicious. I copied the number and saved it to my phone. When Emily came out of the shower, I asked, "Who's Megan?" Her eyes widened for a split second before she forced a smile. "Oh, Megan? She's a co-worker. Just a friend." I wasn't convinced. The nervous laughter and the way she avoided my eyes only deepened my suspicions. The next day, I couldn't shake the feeling. I dialed the number I had copied. After a few rings, a man's voice answered. "Hello." "Hi, I'm looking for Megan," I said, my voice shaky. The man paused before replying. "There's no Megan here, man. You must have the wrong number." I froze, quickly apologizing before hanging up. My face flushed with a mixture of anger and confusion. That night, while Emily was asleep on the couch, I decided to check her phone again. This time, I found a conversation with Megan hidden in the archived messages. My stomach twisted as I scrolled through them. The dates lined up with her trip to Miami. My hands trembled as I connected the dots. This wasn't just some wild suspicion anymore. It was clear I was being betrayed. The first message from Megan read, "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. Can't wait to see you again." My heart pounded as I kept scrolling. The contact name that came up next made my hand shake. I squinted, trying to process what I was seeing. It took a long breath to continue reading. That was the happiest night of my life, Megan had written. But Megan wasn't real. Emily had used a woman's name to disguise the truth. She had been talking to a man named Richard. My throat tightened as I read the messages between them. They were no longer just playful words. They were intimate, raw confessions. Emily shared how Richard made her feel paralyzed with desire, how she couldn't stop thinking about him. These weren't just flirtations. This was something real. Then, I saw something that froze my blood. Emily had sent Richard private images and videos of them together, nude, during intimate moments. I couldn't tear my eyes away. Each picture and video was a cruel reminder of her betrayal. As I kept scrolling, my stomach churned and my heart pounded in disbelief. But it didn't stop there. I sat frozen, my mind racing, trying to process everything I was seeing. I could barely comprehend the depth of the pain that was flooding through me. The woman I had loved and trusted had shattered my world in ways I never thought possible. Then, it hit me. The tattoo she had shown me, the tiny heart near her hip with the letter inside that she claimed was for me, was actually meant for Richard. That realization hit me like a punch to the gut, but my instincts kicked in. I couldn't just leave this unanswered. With trembling hands, I transferred the videos, pictures, and messages to my phone, each file a painful memento of her betrayal. Then I deleted Richard's conversation from her phone, making sure she wouldn't know I had uncovered the truth. The next morning, I didn't waste any time. I made an appointment with a lawyer. I was ready to file for divorce and protect everything I had worked for, ensuring that Emily wouldn't take anything from me. The lawyer's office was cold and impersonal, but it gave me the clarity I needed. I had worked hard for everything. My bank accounts, my properties, and now, my future. I wasn't going to let her destroy everything. Leaving that office, I felt a surge of determination. This wasn't going to be easy, but I had taken the first crucial step in securing my future. The next, and far more difficult, challenge was waiting. I knew Emily would be home soon, and that day felt like it lasted a lifetime. I sat at the kitchen table, my fingers trembling slightly as I typed out a single message. Every word had to hit hard. I intended to send it to everyone, our friends, family, anyone who deserved to know the truth. I attached all the proof. The photos, the texts, the videos, everything that exposed Emily's affair with Richard. The sound of the front door opening made my heart race. Emily stepped inside, her face lighting up when she saw me. But when she saw the phone in my hand, her expression faltered. "What's going on, Ryan?" Her voice quivered. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I handed her the phone, letting her see the truth for herself. The messages, the pictures, the videos, her betrayal lay bare before her. Emily stammered, "I can explain, Ryan, please." But I cut her off. "You've been lying to me the whole time. Is this what you've been doing behind my back? Who is Richard, Emily? What is this?" Her eyes flickered from the screen to the floor, unable to meet my gaze. Her lips trembled, and her face drained of color. She opened her mouth but couldn't find the words. Finally, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen. I was drunk. It was just one mistake." "Just one mistake?" I repeated, my voice thick with disbelief. "You slept with him, Emily. Twice. You even got a tattoo for him and lied about it." Tears began to spill down her face. I'm sorry, Ryan. It was the biggest mistake of my life. But my anger surged. The biggest mistake of your life? You told him it was the best night of your life. Who do you think you're fooling? Her sobs intensified, but I couldn't bear to hear any more. I can't look at you right now, I said coldly. You've made your choices, Emily. Now, you'll face the consequences. What are you talking about? She asked, panic rising in her voice. I filed for divorce, I said flatly. And now, everyone knows what you've done. The truth is out. Her face turned white with shock. You can't do this, she whispered, but I shook my head. You don't get to play the victim here, Emily. This is all on you. The fallout was swift. Emily's family saw the evidence. The photos, the texts, the videos, and they were as stunned as I was. My friends and family stood by me, offering their support every step of the way. The divorce was finalized quickly. I made sure to safeguard everything I had built. The house, the cars, my accounts. Emily left with nothing. As time passed, the pain dulled. The woman I thought I knew, the one I loved, was gone. But with every day, I grew stronger. The truth, as painful as it was, had set me free. Emily faded from my life, taking with her the life we had built together. There was no regret on my part, just the harsh reality of what had happened. I moved on, stronger and wiser. Thank you for watching.